Hi and welcome to AutonetMagz. I'm Audi, and would you believe me if I'm saying that this car with a dimension of 4.1 meters or smaller than an average hatchback have a 3 row of seat or a 7-seater? You don't believe me? Let's check it out. If you see the design, it looks very similar with the 5-seater version of the KIA Sonet. The main difference lies on the no sunroof. Why there is no sunroof, I will explain it later. And the spare tire move into underneath the rear bumper. And the moment of truth, 7-seater. Okay. Let's look at the interior. So the interior looks very similar or the same with the 5-seater version. And like I mentioned before, there is no sunroof for this version and for all version of the 7-seater. Why? Because now it's fitted with an air blower. So it's basically a fan sucking up the ambient cooled air in front of the cabin, and it's blowing up into the 2nd or the 3rd row. So it's basically not a double blower, but it's only an air blower, which is quite useful for a tropical and heat condition. And while the rest of the features remains the same, so it still have a wireless charging, and it's also have a Android Auto and Apple CarPlay connection, wireless. But this trim is a dynamic trim in Indonesia. It doesn't have the Bose head unit and sound system, so it remains a standard head unit, which is quite sufficient, and still got the auto AC. Let's move at the 2nd row to see the details. Let's go. Okay, look at the 2nd row. It's looks the same, but it's not the same, because if you remember, the 5-seater version, you have a bench, foldable, but a one full bench. But this version, you have a 40-60 folding with tip and tumble. So it's very useful, and they create some changes, especially on the floor, because they add some mounting and some hook to fit the tip and tumble seats, and it's foldable in 40-60s. And if you can see also in this section, the roof section, you can see the air blower, they have four level of adjustment, and you still have the AC fan for the 2nd row. So I can conclude that this is mainly for the 3rd row, this is for the 2nd row, and you still got USB and some pockets to put in there. And one more, besides 60-40 folding, the seats now also slide and recline. I think it gives you more flexibilities in arranging the space between the 2nd row and the 3rd row. So let's say if you want to fit a normal person at the rear, at the 3rd row, you can slide a little bit. So it allows more space on the 3rd row. But you still got a decent amount of space at the 2nd row. Let's see on the 3rd row now, okay? It's me sitting on the 3rd row, and before I start the 3rd row, I want to highlight one thing. So besides the modification on the floor, they also put some kind of a recess or grip. So if you want to get into the 3rd row, you can put your hand and pull yourself into the 3rd row. Okay, this is the 3rd row. Of course, the seat is a little bit too straight for my body. So my height is around 174 centimeters, which is more than average in Indonesia. But I can sit not that comfortable, frankly speaking, because I don't have any headroom, see? And if you want to sit really comfort, you have to be a little bit like this. But for people or kids or teenagers with a height of 160 centimeters or 150 centimeters, it will be quite sufficient for a short ride. So again, I think the base thinking of Kia to design this car is it's better to have a 7-seater, even though it's just functional, if I can say that. it's better to have it than only having a 5-seater. So it's another options or a good options from Kia to Indonesia market who usually love 7-seaters. Let me show you the third row folding mechanism. So it's basically a bench seat, one piece, and you can fold it like this. So you can fit some items, some stuff, or if you need more space, you can fold it like this. So it's a little deep, but you can get decent amount of space for your stuff. And if you're curious, where is the spare tire? Spare tire is located underneath the floor. So you have a bolt to turn on, to lower the spare tire, and you can get the spare tire. And this is the position when you fold it flat into the second row. So it's not totally flat, but you can have a decent, let's say you go to IKEA and buy a drawer, a cupboard, you can put it there. But it's not a total flat, so you still have a gap in here. The engines is still the same with the one used in the 5-seater version. It's using a SmartStream Gamma 2 dual CVT engine producing 115 HP and 144 Nm of torque, mated into manual transmission 6-speed and an intelligent VT or variable transmission or Kia's CVT. So probably from the exterior you wouldn't realize that this is a different car. But after you go inside, you can realize that the interior, the changes that they are applying, it gives the car more functionality, more value, more practicality. And it is good for this car who is always considered as one of the best in the segment. So now it's better than before. Maybe the third row is a little bit a compromise, considering the size doesn't change at all. But again, it's better to have one than you don't have any. Okay, and the car is currently world premiere in Indonesia market. So I think they will premiere this car also in India market and other developing markets, which loving or craving for a 7-seater small A segment SUV. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, click subscribe and please click the bell notification to know the updates, videos updates from AutonetMagz. I'm Audi signing off. Thank you for watching. Siap? Sakit.